Sounded better. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my God, there's 22 people already. How are y'all? Is today Monday? Is today Monday morning? Happy birthday, Caravine TV. I didn't know it was Monday. I have a slice of key lime pie. Look how thick and custardy it is. I wish I could play this song. I'm tired of all the broken promises, promises, promises. That song. You do, but you don't be a man. I'll show you my outfit today. I wore the sweats again because I was feeling lazy. But I have my Nike crop top, like sports top. Then I have this cardigan. And then I have shoes. I just wanted to be comfortable today. You know what I'm saying? I just feel comfortable. So, somebody asked me a question that has me feeling some type of way. And I know that the person didn't ask me this question. They didn't mean to offend me at all. And this is sort of the topic of the day. Oh, I always start off with a random thought of the day. So, okay. What's my random thought of the day? That's too dark. Let's not even have a random thought of the day because the thoughts in my head right now are not good. Not that they're not good, is that like I've been doing a lot of thinking lately. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm kind of like exhausted from thinking because I'm thinking about a lot. Because you know, like I have to figure out my next move, you know? So I have that like pending in the back of my head. I'm like, okay, Michelle, you know, you have to sort of figure things out and it's so complicated. Everything is so complicated. Life is so complicated and it kind of gives you a headache. A Spanish word of the day. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. A Spanish word of the day. Encantada. Wait, no. I love, but I don't know how to say it the way they got. Okay, so when I went to DR, they would be like these men. They were like mad cute and stuff, and they would be like encantado or like something, or like encantada or encantado. But they said it with like a really sexy accent, and I don't know how to do it with that sexy accent, but it was mad cute. Yo, when I went to DR, I stood out like a sore thumb. Like literally everybody knew that I was not from there. Ironically enough, if you are familiar with like my IG like family, and if you haven't already, go ahead and add me on Instagram, totally transparent. But there's Rupert. I have a international friend named Rupert, and I met him on that trip to DR, on that trip in DR. And I didn't know that he knew English. And I was talking about him in the supermarket, and that's how I met him. And then later on, we wound up bumping into each other again. And he started talking to me in English. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that you knew English. I thought that I was like safe here in DR because not everybody knew English over there. So whatever. So that's how I got caught talking about these boys. I was basically saying how they were like mad cute. Like I was being mad, like thirsty. It was three of them. They were like all mad cute in their own way. And I was like, ew, y'all are like cute a little bit. And like, I like y'all. Well, so that being said, let's move on. So literally, somebody asked me a question, and I was like, I didn't know how to answer it. They flat out said to me, Michelle, how did you allow somebody to treat you that way? And I was like, wow. Like, nobody ever flat out asked me like that. Like, how did I allow somebody to treat me this way? And I was like, yo, when I go back on it now that I've left, like, you know what's so crazy is that throughout this whole camper journey, I was using the camper as a distraction from me leaving the abuse. That's one thing I knew for certain. I was like, I can't deal with this right now. I got to push it down, push it down. I was dealing with homelessness, COVID, everything. Like, yo, it's crazy. I look back at everything that I've documented. You know, on TikTok, I have like 883 videos that I posted, and it's all documenting this like journey where I'm like this confused whirlwind of a mess because I'm just taking everything that's being thrown at me, and I'm like barely making it. I feel like I'm dodging and weaving and dodging and weaving through life, and I'm literally living in a virtual like game where every split decision is like a point of survival, and I don't know how to turn off that survival instinct. And now that I'm sitting here and I'm in a place where I'm comfortable, I'm starting to sort of think about like the things that I was pushing to the side, which was the abuse, which was everything that I was dealing with, which was the trauma that I had accumulated during COVID and during this whole journey of like trying to find a home, to be honest. And I'm left with these thoughts. And when that person asked me straight up, how did I allow this person to treat me this way? I sat there and I said, well, you know what's so crazy? For the first time in my life, I'm experiencing a lot of new first. I woke up today and I said, I want to just put on a cute little cardigan, a little sports top, my sweats, and I want to put on a pink liner and wear my natural hair. This would have never been an option for me in that relationship. It wasn't even a relationship, it was a situationship. I could never look this way. I had to wear wigs. I had to wear a lot of makeup. I had to make sure that my body looked a certain way. Everything was, I had no control over anything. I allowed my whole life to become what everybody else expected of me and thought that I should be. And I was just an empty shell of who I was, like, honestly. And when I think back at it, I'm like, yo, I was so numb, and I allowed myself and I allowed everything that my life has put in my way to have put me in such a place where I felt so worthless, and that's it. I allowed myself to feel so worthless. And I became numb to it. Numb, absolutely numb. And I started to see abuse as he just wants me to look my best. Yes, I don't look good enough. Yes, I need to go to the gym. Yes, I need to. And my life became a never-ending stream of apologizing for my existence. I realized yesterday in my video that I put out a disclaimer, and I'm just like, my whole life I've been living with a disclaimer, having to explain away my existence, having to explain who I am and justify just my living. And I'm sitting back and I'm like, how did I allow this to become my life? When did I lose control of myself? When did I clocked out? Because for the first time, I'm experiencing so many new things. Why is it that I'm afraid to go outside in public with my natural hair? Why am I afraid to go outside without a lot of makeup on? This is the first time I've been challenging myself to do things that I've never was allowed to do. You know what? I was never allowed to go out like this. Like, even if they were not going to be seen with me, I wasn't even allowed to go out the door that way. I look back at old pictures of myself and people look at me and they're like, girl, you're so this, you're so that. And I say, wow, this is how this guy wanted me to look. And this period of my life was how this guy wanted me to look. And this period of my life in these photos is how this guy wanted me to look. And I look at the pictures of my life and I look back at the portfolio and I say, wow, I allowed myself to become their fantasy. I allowed them to tear me down emotionally and rip every part of who I was, and then allowed them to rebuild me back in the image that they wanted me to be, to satisfy their insecurities and make them feel inferior. I allowed them to take my power. Can we talk about real? Can we talk about real here? Is this not the house of realness, audience? I mean, are we not real here? I can't believe I just said that. I can't believe I just said that. But that's the truth. How did I lose my power? We can judge anybody. We can judge anybody. But the one thing I have learned is that we live in glass houses. And the image may be distorted and we may paint a pretty picture. But on the other end of that glass, who do you have to face? Yourself. Yourself. I have to own up. I have to now learn how to apologize to myself, to forgive myself for allowing that to happen. Forgiving up on myself. That is my new journey. My new journey is learning how to forgive myself for allowing that to happen. My new journey is now to heal from the dysfunction that I allowed to become my normality. To reprogram every single negative thing, to be able to look at myself in the mirror and be able to face the image that looks in front of me and be able to say, I accept you, I love you, and I am you in every sense of the word. It's time to take that distorted image of myself and come back to me. It's crazy, but you know, Julia Roberts, I watched that movie Eat, Pray, Love, and I resonated with that movie so much. And I was like, you know, I wish I could just go on this journey and go to Bali and go to Italy and rediscover myself like Julia Roberts. But honestly, my life may not be glamorous, but I am really on the biggest journey of my life, which is the rediscovery of me. The rediscovery of me. Owning my power. Owning it. Harnessing it all and embracing it and flaunting it unapologetically. Standing up in my truth and saying no more will I allow bad behavior in any aspects of my life because I know my worth. I have fought for my right at this table. And when I sit in front of you, I sit a woman who is so sure of herself that when she made the decision to stand up for herself and look at her mother in the eye and say, I am a woman and this is who I am, knowing that she will not accept it, I knew that my mother would kick me out. And I still stood in my truth. I knew my power back then, and I allowed life journey to take that power away from me. But one thing I am certain is that I am me, and I have the right to be here, and I have the right to exist, and I have the right to thrive and to no longer claim the title of survivor. I am no longer your survivor of your bad behavior. No, I am free from that. I am me. That's it. That's it. No explanation needed, because that's it. I feel so powerful. I feel so powerful in this new journey. I don't have a pot to pee in. I don't have a pot to pee in. I don't have no idea what my next plan is. I don't know how I'm going to get to point A to point B. But all I know is, for the first time, I am making my decisions free of everybody else's opinion, free of everybody else's negativity. And I'm learning how to love myself and find myself again. To look at myself in the mirror and say, wow, what a gift is this vessel that I see. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's answer some audience questions. Read, my sister. It's a great book. Okay. Is this the right time to say period or nah? It is always the right time to say period. And that's on period because I'm eating my key lime pie. All right. Let's answer some questions. Do you want kids in the future? Will we get a transition video? I don't know. I might just wait for the book. I might just do a docu-series. I love you. I love you too. So the crew is out. Are we getting more telenovela drama? Okay. So my videos with the House of Realness, they don't seem to get a lot of views. So because of that, I was like doubting if I should continue on the drama. There's a lot more members in the cast that I wanted to reveal to you guys. There's Amir. There is Penny. There's Paulina. This is Paulina. This is Amir. There's some new players, and there's 3 more people that you haven't seen, right? But, you know, a lot of people didn't like it, so I don't know. All right, another question. All right. Another question. Let's see. Read The Shift. It's a great book. Okay. Make small clips on their telenovela in TikTok. How does it feel to be free and not scared anymore if you, like you were with the camper? Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I'm scared a little bit still. It's scared being free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I allowed myself to become so abused and so normalized to the abuse that even though the cage was open and the door was open, I was so terrified to fly free. He didn't even need to clip my wings because he already brought me to the point where even though he let the door open, I was still afraid to leave. Ooh, that's deep. Mm. How do you move on with the strong with how do you move on with the situation? You're so strong, girl. You make me fight. Cynthia Perales, how do I move on? I have to look at it like this. No matter how much you love anybody else, if you are unhappy and if you feel so bad about yourself and then you're so down about a situation, you owe it to yourself to change that situation and not have to apologize about it and not have to worry about anybody else feeling some type of way about that decision. You have to protect yourself first, because how you going to be able to be anything for anybody else if you are a broken person yourself? Because you've allowed yourself to, you have to fight for yourself. You have to. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody, I promise you. I've waited all my life for somebody to come waltzing in. Prince Charming ain't coming on no white horse. He is not. He's not. Rena Ham, I don't know if I'm gonna open a P.O. box, and I don't know if I'm gonna put back the PayPal pool. I have not used the money on the PayPal pool. It is still there. I am still in the works of figuring out where I am at. I've said this before in my video. Where I'm at is just temporary until I get to my next step. I'm still trying to figure out what that next step is realistically. I am I have a lot of things in the work, but I have to learn from my past experiences. I shared a lot on my TikTok journey and on my YouTube that led me to have to deal with some people harassing me. And for my safety reasons, I just have to move a little more discreetly. I promise you, I'm not just sitting here on a chair with dolls in the background just twiddling my thumbs. I'm figuring out my life, you know, I am. And because of a couple of bad apples, I just have to move a little more discreetly. But I hope that when I make my next move, it's going to be my last move for a while, and it's gonna be my place of where I get to just start like getting comfortable. Did I have to sneak out of my abusive relationships? No. You have to understand, there's different forms of abuse. And who answered that question? Rena Ham, you asked that question. I didn't have to sneak out. At this point, he knew that he got to me and he broke me down mentally. You know, a lot of people just focus on the physical abuse, and the physical abuse is a big side of it. But there's also a mental side of the abuse, and he broke me down so much that it was to the point where he said, even if you leave, it doesn't matter because I've already broken you. Your life and everything that has happened to you is breaking you, and nobody is going to put up with you and patch you up. There's no fixing you. You know, that's basically what he told me. He said that I was just going to live until I expire. And it is what it is. What has happened with the fake pages? I think the person has put it on private and then they keep popping it up and then removing it, popping it up and removing it. Do you and your current households have a time limit? Yes. Okay. I have a very complicated relationship with my mom now. Marisol Feliciano, I have a very complicated relationship with my mom now. Any other questions? Will you do a podcast? I love your long stories and side stories. Very life journey and positive. It's very inspiring. Okay. I don't know because it seems like my numbers are not doing so good. So it's like I'm afraid to venture off into like the podcast world because it's like I'm trying to really build up my YouTube. I'm really trying to get my numbers on YouTube to increase. So I have a lot of I have a lot of makeup tutorials coming up. I have a lot of hair tutorials coming up and hair product reviews. I have a lot of stuff that is YouTube related because honestly, I am monetized on YouTube now and I am trying to get that steady income coming in through YouTube, to be honest. And I'm trying to really, really like finesse YouTube and make this my career and like my cash cow while I work on my book because I really, really feel like, and I feel compelled to start writing my book. That's why I need your love and support on YouTube. Oh, D. Schwartz. How does it feel cooking in a real kitchen again? Yesterday, I felt really strange. I'm going to be honest with you. Thank you for asking that question. Cooking outside, I was like open and free. Being in the kitchen, it almost, like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like a feral cat. Like a feral cat that's been taken off in the street and now I'm in a home and now I have to learn how to acclimate to like a home setting. And I don't know how it feels. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm so big and cumbersome and I'm, I'm so like klutzy that I don't want to like break anything. I don't want to dirty anything. I don't want to mess anything up, like I just want everything to be nice. And, I'm not used to nice things. Olga Pardo, Olga Pardo. Once you're stable and move to your permanent location, would you consider working in the beauty industry and makeup? Yes, I've been thinking about working for Sephora and trying to be like a fancy specialist in Sephora, and hopefully I can catch enough attention as a fancy girl that eventually Rihanna will see me. So I do. When I get to my permanent location, I do want to work as a Sephora and work my way up to being a fancy specialist. Whatever happened to the painting? You did not miss anything with the painting. I still have the painting. Also, good question. I have everything that the House of Realness has gifted me. I know that I've said that before, but remember I got this in one of the P.O. box? I have everything that the House of Realness gifted me in bins. And I have them tucked away in a storage unit. So remember, this is the box. This is the box that houses, remember these? Raggedy Ann, Raggedy Andy. Remember the little notes? Like, I keep everything, so I have it. I have all this stuff, so do not worry. I have it. Benji's over there. Remember, he was a gift. These two were a gift. Like, Christy was a gift. So don't think that I threw out all the gifts. Permanent is where I have a place to live where I don't have to worry about it for a while. For a while. Like longer than a year. I have the one that I'm painting. I have it. I'm gonna finish it up. You're welcome. Any other questions? If I try another camper, I will have to collaborate with somebody who really knows how to insulate the camper because it's getting colder. And I need the camper to be able to handle the winters as well. Do we have any other questions? Like any like juicy questions? Maybe like, you know, you can ask me anything. You know what I'm saying? Marisol Feliciano. Am I okay where I'm at? I'm okay where I'm at. I am okay. This is key lime pie. How did I get my driver's license? I got my driver's license in Georgia. I got my driver's license in Georgia. And what was crazy is that I was working at a restaurant, right? This is how I got my driver's license. This is how I got it. So I was 23 when I left New York. I was living in a shelter. I was living in a shelter in Brooklyn. I left New York with a train ticket all the way down to Georgia. I had applied to jobs on Craigslist and I had job interviews. I took my ticket, went to Penn Station, took the Amtrak, went all the way to Georgia with my suitcases, went to the job interviews, landed all 3 jobs. So it was 1 job working at a pizzeria and 2 jobs working as a server at a restaurant, right? So boom. Now I'm working at a pizzeria and I'm working at a restaurant. Oh, wait. What was the question? I totally forgot what was the question because I was going in. What was the question? Oh, my driver's license. So boom, right? So now I don't know how to drive. I'm trying to learn how to drive. I had to ask my manager at the time. We went out to a club one time and whatever. So long story short, my manager had to teach me how to drive in his car. And let's just say he was doing stuff in his car. So when I went to go take my test using his car smelled like something. And I was like, oh my God. And then when the person came into the car to do my test, they were like, is it okay if I record this driver's test? And I was like, yeah, it's okay. You could record it. And they were recording and they was like, oh, the car kind of smells, you know, strong. And I was like, this isn't my car. I promise this isn't my car. And then we did the test. I basically failed the first round and I was mad tight. And I was like, all right, it is what it is. And then I had to wait like 2 weeks. And then I went back and then I like was practicing with this girl I knew and she helped me learn how to drive. And then that's how I got my driver's license the second time around because I used her car. And then that's how I got my freaking thing. So that's how I got my driver's license. I got it in Georgia. Do I want to leave the country? Yes. I want to live in New Zealand for a year. I want to live in Curacao for 6 months. I want to live in Puerto Rico for 6 months. I want to live in Alaska for 3 months. I want to live in London for a year. I want to live in London for 6 months. I want to live in I want to live in Switzerland for 3 months. I want to live in Italy for 6 months. I want to live in Bali for 3 months. I want to live in Fiji for 2 months. I have a lot of places that I want to live internationally. I gotta get the crumbs out. Oh, Alaska is in the U.S. Why do I feel like Alaska is so international? I feel like Alaska is like a different part of the world a little bit. And don't act like I'm the only one that feels that way. I told myself I wasn't gonna eat this whole pie, and I ate the whole pie, and I don't know how the whole pie went away. Any other questions? World Traveler. Zelda Vay, question, have you ever smoked weed? And what's your first time, like, pot story? I have smoked weed, and my first time smoking weed is so, that story is so crazy. I have to do a separate story time about the first time I smoked weed. Matter of fact, matter of fact, matter of fact, matter of fact. I've been wanting to do a bake show where I bake something. So low key, I'm gonna. I want to do it live, but I gotta stop doing lives on YouTube because they're not doing as good as my pre-recorded videos. Like my most viewed video on YouTube is 5,600 views, and that's on my video where I did the camper update video, and I showed the outside of the camper and everything, and that was like a pre-recorded format. So I'm gonna do a baking video, and I'm going to share my 420 story on that baking video, but that one's gonna be pre-recorded. It's not gonna be live, so I'll do that. That sounds fun, right? Also, I want to do a spooky time video because I have a creative imagination, and I'm like a little bit scared because I'm out here in the woods. Like, you guys see the woods and you're like, oh, it's mad beautiful. But at night, if y'all saw my mukbang when I was eating the chicken parmesan. All right, let me tell y'all something. Please don't judge me. Please don't judge me. But like, just consider me like a little feral cat, like a little orphan Annie. Y'all was coming for me when I was doing that mukbang. Y'all was like, girl, you need to figure out how to eat your noodles. You need to eat your noodles with a spoon, and you need to be classy, and this and the third. I be watching mukbangers, and they be... I watch a lot of Korean mukbangers, and they eat like that. They eat like that. And I thought that that was the purpose of a mukbang, is to eat like that. So, you know, you think I'm going to go to like a nice restaurant and eat like a salvaje? No, I'm not going to eat like that in front of somebody. Yes, now in hindsight, if I ever meet a man and I'll be like, okay, listen, first of all, if I meet a man, he's going to be like, so what do you do for a living? I'm going to be like, so I'm a social media influencer. I'm also a Fenty ambassador. I also am a model. I also have a HBO spin-off special of Mr. Rogers and Friends with the House of Realness. It's an Adult Swim spin-off. I mean, so I'm just booked and busy, you know. I'm also starting my own cosmetics line. I'm also branching into fashion. I mean, I don't know. You always have to diversify your portfolio. What do you do for a living? You know what I'm saying? What's another question? And I was eating by myself. I was eating by myself. First of all, I'm low-key afraid of aliens in the woods. Like, I don't care what y'all say. I do not care what y'all have to say. I do not care what y'all have to say. We would be so narcissistic to believe that we are the only living beings in this whole entire universe. There's multiple universes that we have yet to even discover, right? Our universe is so big, right? And we live here on Earth. Let's just go down this rabbit hole with me. We live here on Earth, right? And on Earth, look at what we've been able to do. We've been able to build planes and jets. You don't think that some type of alien creature in a faraway universe has technology that we're able to build planes and jets? We have spaceships that took us to the moon, right? You don't think that aliens in another universe have spaceships that come to the moon, that have traveled out of their moons? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, yo, if we go into the moon and there was people there, there's other people coming here. They must have found a way to come here. And this is a perfect place for the aliens to hide, in the woods. So I'm a little bit scared that, like, maybe there's aliens here. And not maybe like aliens or whatever the case may be, but like, I don't know. Like, the woods are easy to hide stuff, and I feel like stuff is happening, and I don't know. But I don't want to scare myself because then I start to get scared, and I'd be like, ay, Dios mío, no me puedo dormir. Like, I won't be able to sleep because I will start to scare myself a lot. You know what's the easiest way to scare yourself? Start looking behind you. Even if there's nothing there, if you just look at if you look behind you multiple times, you start to get scared. You start to be like, what is there? What is there? Stop. Stop. No, for real. That's the best way to scare yourself. Just look back. Yo, that's metaphoric. Oh my God, yo. Somebody give me a Nobel Peace Prize. Hear me out. 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 I just told y'all the best way to scare yourself is to look back and keep looking back. Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that? I said the best way to scare yourself is to keep looking back. And the more you look back, even though there's nothing there, you'll get scared. There's no better lesson you can learn in life. Never look back, because even though there's nothing there, the past, that's in the past. There's nothing there for you there. You're going to get scared, and it's going to stop you from moving forward. Oh my God. Yo, I am prolific right now. I am prolific right now. I am prolific. Give me a PhD in teaching you how to move forward in life, because I have given you the best analogy, and it came spur of the moment. Spur of the moment. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was powerful. That was powerful. That was powerful. Wow. That came out of my mouth. That came out of my mouth. That came out of my mouth. And on that note, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all heard that? I said that. That came out of my mouth. And that was so metaphoric. Let me take a sip of water. All right. I like her live. Take notes on it right now. Take notes on it right now. Take notes on it right now. All right. Write it down for your book. Virginity story time. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was so rude. I guess I was filling myself up with too much gas, because I was gassing myself up mad big for no reason. Like, ew, Michelle, you think that you were the first person to think about that analogy? Yes, because it was live here. I just made that up. I don't know how to act with my nails. I swear, I swear, I swear, I swear. I don't even know how to act with my nails. No, I'm not living alone. I am telling you, I'm not going. You are making my workday bearable, even though there are times I show it. There's just no way. There's no way. All right, I'm going to end this live here, and then I'm going to go live on TikTok. All right, so I'll see y'all there. Bye.